I'm Basia Sokolowska and I'm taking you through my creative alphabet. D for daylight is the subject of today's episode. Daylight as a source of light in photography, which I use and I prefer in my art photographs. And daylight also as a source of pleasure and enjoyment that I think I enjoy very much, but also is something that's available to everyone anywhere in the world, I think. And it's something that I think is greatly underestimated, but it's very, very beautiful. And you can look at the place where you live, your home or your apartment, and see how the light moves around the rooms throughout the day and throughout the year, and in different kind of weather and in different climates, if you live in different places, of course. And it's a constant show of changes in color and intensity and contrast, and you have very interesting things happening, patches of light, patches of sunlight, moving across furniture or the floor or the walls. One of the most exquisite moments with light in this apartment where I am now was when I discovered that at a certain time of the year, when the weather is sunny in the evening, in the living room, when I draw the curtains, a pinhole image of the view outside of the wall appears. And at first, I of course didn't know it was a pinhole image, it was so unexpected. But I noticed this sort of blue patch on the wall, and I thought, perhaps it's a stain. But when I looked closely, it wasn't a stain. And then I noticed different colors and different elements, and I realized that it's a view from the window, but it's like in pinhole cameras turned 180 degrees, so it's upside down. So it was actually the blue sky from sort of across the road at the bottom of my wall in the living room. Well, I'm going to leave this apartment soon, most probably, and I think light is something that I'm going to miss about it most. It has southeast, the southeast aspect, and it has windows facing the northwest. So I have sort of like a constant performance of light here, and it's stunning, and it's also very rich and it's very varied. So it's also a very good place to take photos if you know your daylight and if you know how to work with it. Of course, in photography, in professional photography, studio lighting is preferred to daylight. It's actually a requirement of photographic professionalism. Now, studio lighting has, of course, very important advantages. One of the advantages is that it's constant. It doesn't change with the clouds or the sun going down or coming up. And another advantage is that you can fully control it, that you can set it up so you control the shadows, you control the color balance, you control a lot of aspects. The subject of your photograph is lit the way you want it. And it's great. But my life and my art are not about control. And definitely my creative process, about which I talked in my earlier episode, is not controlling. I'm much more into participation, art process as participation in all the aspects around me that come together in an artwork, than an attempt to create a controlled environment and controlled images. I use daylight in my photography in many different ways. In my series Beyond Surface, I took photographs of interiors looking towards the window. I took these photographs while traveling around Europe, so they were taken in Paris and in Rome and in Prague and in Vienna and in Poland, on different rooms, different lighting conditions, the same camera. Uh, and the daylight coming through the window became also part of the subject, part of the theme of these images. It became very, very important in carrying the meaning that I wanted to convey. In this apartment, I made my chrysalis series. This is just a postcard of one of the images, and a lot of people don't believe me when I say that I didn't use artificial light, studio light, to take this image, but I didn't. It was on my desk against the window. So it's all about the way I think you approach things, that daylight can provide what you want,